She was asking for it when you F around and find out. Hello, true story. My ex wife effed around and found out back in 1999. My wife of 9 years and the mother of my son, who is indeed mine, was asking me for an open marriage. Basically demanded it and said it's the only way for us to better our marriage and how it's only temporary. So, our entire relationship, even when we were dating, people would say silly things like, "You're lucky to have her. She's a walking supermodel." People in her family would tell me how she deserves to be with a superstar celebrity. She's too pretty to just be someone's wife in the middle of America. She being my ex wife, Carmen. I actually put up with these insults. It wasn't just her family, though, but some friends would hint at how she's so gorgeous and I'm just average. Someone even was asking, "What spell did you put on her? And can you teach it to me?" True story, I attached an image of me and my ex wife. You can see why people would say this. They'd call us the perfect 10 because she was tall and slim, and well, I was round. So together we made the perfect 10. Now looking at the picture, true, you can see me, and please don't share this, but honestly, I never felt insecure about myself or my height. As you can see, my ex-wife was tall, 5'11". Me, I'm 5'9". I'm not dumb. I know my financial success played a big role in my ex-wife choosing me. It definitely wasn't my height or looks, but that just never bothered me. She did cook, clean. We had a very healthy bedroom life, and it was very often. I indeed did please her, and vice versa. It just worked out. I never suspected my wife of cheating, ever. Just never crossed my mind until she was asking for an open marriage. She did work as a kindergarten teacher, then became a principal for an elementary school. I worked in finance. I retired years ago. How I met my ex-wife was at a function for professionals of all sorts. I saw her, and I was wowed. She definitely stood out amongst everyone, and every guy was trying to talk to her. She was a recent college graduate. When Carmen and I spoke, I never tried to hit on her. I was just my normal comical self having a conversation, and she just loved me. My ex-wife Carmen offered me her number and said we should get together sometime because we both lived in the same area. Why would I turn that down? She was beautiful. She thought I was funny. We had great conversations. Why not go out for a drink? When we did go out for the first time, she specifically told me how she loved my confidence. Now, I knew what she was getting at. I'm a short guy. I'm not in the best shape. I had always been a pudgy guy, and I'm just not the most handsome man in the world. Not even close. She seemed to like it, and it worked out. We ended up going on dates every other week for almost a year before we even made it official. I never initiated wanting to be official with her or being exclusive with her, but she eventually said, "What are we at the time?" We were intimate, and it was just the casual thing. She'd come to my place, I'd go to her place, stay the night. We'd watch movies, go to the movies, bowling was our favorite thing. We did a lot together. I even met some of her family early on before we even made it official. In almost a year of just casually dating, she said she wanted to be my one and only, and that she could see herself being my wife. When she told me that, it surprised me because I honestly thought she probably just wanted casual dating and a good friend, and I thought we were good friends at the time. But she wanted more, and I'm not going to lie, I thought about it, but I just never pushed on it. But when she suggested it, I agreed, and we became exclusive. We were exclusive for 2 months before she says, "I want to be your wife." So I proposed. Eventually, we married, not too long after. And she was pregnant with my son, and I have confirmed that this was my son. Because when she was asking for an open marriage, I immediately wondered if she was cheating on me, or if that my son was even mine. It was. Luckily, my son didn't get my height. He was actually very tall, like his mother and her brothers. Actually, her entire family are very tall, so it worked out. I never one time suspected my ex-wife Carmen cheating on me our entire marriage until she was asking for the open marriage. We both went to work every day. We'd come home, enjoy each other's company, watch television together. It was just a normal family thing. And we raised our son, did homework together. We'd take our son out to parks together. We did everything together. Vacations together. She never was going on girls' trip by herself or going out with her girlfriends or sneaking around. Nothing. Everything we did was together. I had no reason to think she was cheating on me. I honestly, and I know a lot of people on your channel would say, oh, I'm sure she was cheating on you. I honestly do not believe she's ever cheated on me, ever. I don't believe it. I believe her when she says, I found out about this. I think it'll be great for our marriage. I just think after so many years and people putting things in her head, like, hey, you can do better. You can be with this type of guy, that type of guy. It eventually got to her and she was wanting to do it. But she was never a woman that will step outside of her marriage or cheat or be deceitful to anybody. She was completely honest with me. I wanted an open marriage and I gave her what she wanted. And she realized how she regretted it. But by then it was way too late. I did what I did. She offered it and she was not happy about it. She didn't like the fact that I was able to sleep with a certain person. I'm not here to brag, like I said. I'm not some ladies' man or anything. I'm just myself. I'm not the best looking person in the world, but I'm just myself. And I'm charismatic. And I've always been told that I'm a very funny guy. It just comes out like that. My father, he was a very funny guy. His father was a very funny guy. It just ran in our family. And being funny just happens to work. So guys, if you're having trouble maybe getting women, try comedy. But anyway, I'm not here to try to teach anybody anything or act like I'm some guru, because I'm not. I'm just a normal person, now an old man, but I had a very successful life and worked really hard for everything I've earned. Anyway, like I said, our marriage was great. We went everywhere, trips to Florida. We went to both Disney World and Disneyland amusement parks, all over with our son, haunted houses during the fall, trips outside the country, and yes, even though my wife worked, I did pay for everything. It's just how I was brought up. The men in my family handled things and you ran your household. You're the leader of the household, and that's how it was. Now my wife didn't stash her money away and buy stupid silly things. No, she always put it into our joint savings accounts. Everything. Of course, sometimes she'd want to buy something, or one time she really wanted a certain car, not a luxury car, but it was a specific car she wanted. And she took the money she was earning and she bought it. It just worked out. It's just how it was. It's just how it was. Our money was together. In fact, when we divorced with our salary differences, I made a significant amount compared to her. There was no alimony. I didn't have to pay alimony. She never signed a prenup. Did we split our joint savings? Absolutely. We did. We had some things to split. We had to sell the house and split it, but we were married. It makes sense. I didn't walk away hurt and crippled or upset that my wife got some type of money out of me and she used me. No, it's nothing like that. I thought the judge was fair. You were married. This is the money you guys made together. Split it. She's happy with her salary as a teacher. I'm happy with my salary, with my career. Go your separate ways. I didn't even have to pay child support. 50-50 custody. She was completely okay with it, even though she was very upset with me when I started sleeping with a certain person. She suggested to open the marriage. She wasn't bitter about it. In fact, we talked and she said, I understand I caused all of this. I ruined the perfect marriage. But it happened, and that's just how the dice was rolled. After we were divorced, we didn't even hate each other. We were able to speak. I didn't have to block her or block her on this and that. When I hear all your stories now, true story, guys saying, oh, I blocked her on Instagram and this and Facebook. Back then, this stuff didn't exist. But even if it did, I wouldn't have to block her. Didn't have to. We had a son. We were very cordial. It worked. She ended up remarrying. I didn't remarry. I had no desire. I had no desire to do so. Did it once, failed at it. I had a great time though. I'm not going to lie. Great experience, but it didn't last. So why try again? Doesn't make any sense. You guys seen the statistics on that? So let me fast forward to 1999. It's been years and years of everyone telling me, my wife, oh, you can do better. You deserve to be with a Brad Pitt or a Tom Cruise. Why do you want to be with a Danny DeVito looking guy? Doesn't even make sense. That was something that was actually said once from a drunk guy and her family. Not really her blood relative, but someone that's close to the family that they actually consider family. He was a douche. So one day I come home from work. Our son was with her parents. My wife is drinking wine and listening to music, but she's crying. I ask her, "What is wrong with you? Are you okay? Why are you crying? What's going on?" She tells me how she really needs to talk to me, but she's so afraid. I told her, "Afraid of what? You've always known you can be honest with me. We're very open to each other. We can be very honest." And that's what I told her. You don't have to be afraid to say anything to me. Say it. You know how I am. He then says, "I don't feel like I made a mistake with you. I honestly feel like you are my soulmate. I know people say things, make little jokes here and there, and you just joke back. You're really good at taking it, or even reversing the joke and throwing a joke back at someone else, and making everyone laugh. Like you're really great at that. But I never thought that I was better than you, ever, despite what people say. I never looked at you as average or beneath me. I've always been proud to be your wife. I was proud to be your girlfriend. I was proud to even hold a conversation with you. When we first met, I felt like I didn't deserve this attention, but our relationship, they think it's the opposite. And I want you to know, I've never felt that way. But I will say, I do often wonder sometimes what it would be like just to hang out with someone else. I stopped her right there and I said, "Hang out with someone else? So you want friends?" She says, "Something like that. What I'm getting at is, it wouldn't hurt just to go on a date with another man." I said, "Wow, okay, that's interesting." She continued and said, "I've heard some things about open marriages and how they've saved couples. I'm not saying that we have any hard times or we've been arguing. Heck, we barely argue at all. We're best friends. But sometimes it's nice just to get exposed to other people, other personalities, just to see what's out there." So I ask her, "So you want an open marriage?" She says, "Just temporarily, of course. You can do what you want. You can go out and hang out with anyone else." I ask her, "So is this just hanging out with people or are we sleeping with other people? Because the open marriages I know about, they're usually swingers." She says, "Well, if you get to know someone and the vibe is there and the chemistry is there, why not? We're adults, but we have to protect ourselves." I looked at her and I said, "Are you serious? You really want to do this?" She says, "Yeah, just temporarily. Let's just give it a shot." Oh my gosh, I'm so embarrassed. I said, "Okay." She looked shocked and said, "Really? You mean that?" I said, "Yeah, let's try it. Why not? We've been married almost 10 years. Let's just give it a shot." She jumped up and hugged me. And I knew that hug was because I just gave her permission to cheat on me. Now, in my opinion, I think she knew someone that she had in mind to sleep with or just be with, and I just gave her permission to do so. But I'll be honest with you, I never had any desire to sleep with any other woman, but for some reason, at the time, I thought, yeah, I guess it's not a bad idea. Even though I had a smoking hot wife at home, I still noticed other women. I still noticed how attractive other women were, specifically her coworker. So yeah, I also had some people in mind that I was going to talk to, and that's what I did. Unfortunately, one ended up being her coworker. I mean, listen, she never set any ground rules. She never told me I couldn't sleep with her coworkers or someone she knew. And honestly, her coworker had been to our house a number of times, and this woman was very, very flirty with me. Now, I hung out with other women, but I didn't sleep with other women. I only slept with her coworker. So maybe 2 months into us having this open marriage, my wife wanted to sit down and talk and ask me about my experiences. I told her it's been great. I hung out with some people and it's been fine. She was asking me, "Well, have you slept with anyone else?" I told her, yes, I have. And she says, okay, well, I have also. And I will say, it wasn't that great. The guy was fun. He's a great guy, but the whole time I kept comparing him to you. And it just didn't match. Even in the bedroom. She was asking me about my bedroom experience with the one person I had slept with. And I was like, well, I'm being honest with you here. It was amazing. She was shocked and did not like that response. And I said, hey, I'm being honest here. You want me to be honest? She said, yes. Please be honest. And I told her it was amazing, mind blowing. I might have gone too far because she stopped me. She proceeded to tell me the guy that she had been hanging out with and told me his full name and where he lived and all his other crap. And this guy was actually married in an open marriage. Also, I don't know how she met him. Maybe she met him before, and this was the guy that convinced her to be in an open marriage. But anyway, she was asking me about the woman I had been sleeping with. I told her who. My ex-wife Carmen lost her crap. I've never seen her this upset ever in my life. She turned red. She threatened to unalive this woman. Everything. And I told her, well, you didn't tell me who I couldn't sleep with, and you've known that this woman had been very flirty with me in the past. But she told me it's common freaking sense that I'd never sleep with her. How could I do something like this? Our marriage is ruined now. And I told her, you're the one that brought this up. I never wanted this. All in all, our marriage just was not the same. Arguing, fighting, bickering back and forth. We tried to close the marriage, but I'd always get accused of cheating all the time. It just ruined our marriage, and eventually I filed for divorce. Like I said, my ex-wife, she wasn't bitter at all. She didn't try to take everything from me or spite me or anything. 50-50 custody. I didn't have to pay child support, no alimony. We split the house. We split the money, and we went our separate ways. Even later, we laughed about it. She knew she destroyed our marriage, and it was just no way we could fix it. Maybe marriage counseling would have worked. But the way we were fighting and arguing, it was just so far gone and very toxic. We were in each other's faces and never went back to what it was. Open marriages destroy marriages. I don't know who said it helps marriages or it's going to make things better between you and your wife or husband. No freaking way at all. But true story, that's my story. Hopefully you can get to it and share it with your audience.